Effortless Change, the Micro Habits Way. Are you looking for a way to make a positive change in your life, but don't know where to start? Look no further than micro habits. These small, easy-to-implement actions can lead to big changes in our lives and can help us form better habits, achieve our goals, and ultimately lead to a happier and more fulfilling life. Let's say you're trying to eat healthier, for example. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire diet overnight, you can start small by incorporating a micro habit of adding one piece of fruit to your breakfast every day. This small change may not seem like much, but over time, it can lead to a significant increase in your fruit intake and a healthier overall diet. And before you know it, you'll be reaching for an apple instead of a donut in the morning. Micro habits can also be used to improve our relationships. For example, instead of trying to change the way you communicate with your partner overnight, you can start small by expressing gratitude for one thing they do every day. This simple act of appreciation can go a long way in building a stronger and more positive relationship. Imagine your partner's surprise when you thank them for doing the dishes or folding the laundry. It's a little thing, but it makes a big difference. And let's not forget about exercise. Instead of trying to find an hour every day to hit the gym, you can start by doing a few squats or push-ups every time you go to the bathroom. It's a small action that doesn't require much effort, but over time, it can lead to significant improvements in your fitness level. So the next time you're at the office and you feel like taking a break, instead of heading to the water cooler or the vending machine, take a quick exercise break. You'll be surprised how much better you'll feel. Micro habits are also great for achieving our goals. If you want to write a book, for example, you can start small by writing just one sentence a day. It may not seem like much, but over time, it can add up to a finished manuscript. And before you know it, you'll be holding a copy of your own book. Micro habits are an easy and fun way to make positive changes in our lives. They require minimal effort and time, but over time, they can lead to significant improvements in our health, relationships, and overall well-being. In this picture book, we will study the 7 steps to incorporate the power of micro habits into your life. Habits make the man or woman. Benjamin Franklin was a man of many talents and accomplishments, and he attributed much of his success to his habit of setting goals and consistently working towards them. Franklin had a daily routine that he followed religiously. He would wake up early, work on his writing and experiments, and then spend the rest of the day working on his various business ventures. He also practiced moral perfection, which involved setting a goal to improve a specific character trait each month and tracking his progress in a journal. Franklin's habit of setting goals and working towards them consistently allowed him to achieve great success in his life. He was a renowned writer, inventor, and statesman. He invented things such as the lightning rod and bifocals, and was also one of the founding fathers of the United States, helping to draft the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. Marie Curie was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the first person to win the award twice. She made groundbreaking discoveries in the field of radioactivity and was a pioneer in the field of nuclear physics. Curie's success was due in large part to her strong work ethic and habits. She was known for her discipline, focus, and attention to detail. She would often work for 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week in the lab. Her dedication to her work was so strong that she would even bring her daughters with her to the lab so she could continue to work while they slept. Curie's habits also extended to her personal life. She was known for her organization and efficiency, always making sure to use her time wisely. She would set clear goals and make a plan to achieve them. Curie's habits were not only instrumental in her scientific achievements, but also in her ability to juggle multiple responsibilities and being a mother of 2 during her time. Her work ethic and habits allowed her to overcome the obstacles and biases that women faced in the scientific community during her time. Srinivasa Ramanujan was an Indian mathematician who made significant contributions to mathematics and is widely considered as one of the greatest mathematicians of all time. Ramanujan's success was largely due to his strong work habits. Despite having no formal training in mathematics, he was self-taught and had an uncanny ability to come up with complex mathematical formulas and theorems. He would spend hours and hours every day lost in thought, working on mathematical problems and making breakthroughs. Ramanujan's habits also extended to his personal life. He was known for his focus and discipline, always dedicating himself fully to his work. He would often work late into the night, and would often neglect his health and well-being in the pursuit of mathematical understanding. He would often work in solitude, and would spend most of his time working on mathematics and not socializing. Ramanujan's habits were not only instrumental in his mathematical achievements, but also in his ability to overcome the obstacles he faced in his life. He came from a poor background and had little formal education, but his discipline and focus allowed him to achieve success in a field that was typically reserved for those with formal training. Step 1. Think small. Make your new habits as small and as easy to do as possible. This makes it easier to stick to them and builds momentum. When it comes to forming new habits, it's important to remember that small is often better. By making your habits as small as possible, you'll be setting yourself up for success in a number of ways. First of all, small habits are less intimidating. Let's say you're trying to start a new exercise routine. If your goal is to run a marathon, that can be overwhelming and daunting. But if you start small by simply committing to taking a 10-minute walk every day, that's something that's much more manageable. And once you've built that into your routine, you can gradually increase the time and intensity. Small habits also build momentum. When you're able to consistently stick to a small habit, it gives you a sense of accomplishment and encouragement to keep going. This can help you stay motivated and focused on your long-term goal. Another advantage of small habits is that they are often less disruptive to your daily routine. For example, if you're trying to read more, starting with a goal of reading one chapter a day is much more manageable than trying to read a whole book every week. This means it's less likely that you'll have to rearrange your schedule or give up activities you enjoy to make time for your habit. Small habits are more flexible. If you slip up, it's not a big deal, you can pick it up the next day. And when you achieve your small habit, you feel a sense of accomplishment, and that can motivate you to continue. Making your habits as small as possible is a simple yet effective way to set yourself up for success. It's less intimidating, builds momentum, and is less disruptive to your daily routine. Think small. Write down 3 new habits you want to start. Now, what is the smallest step you can take? Make sure it's small enough that you'll follow through on it every day. Step 2. Habit tracking. Habit tracking is a simple yet powerful tool to help you achieve your goals and form better habits. It's like having a personal accountability partner who helps you stay on track and motivated. And the best part is, it's easy to do. Imagine you're trying to form a new habit of going for a walk every day. You could simply make a mental note to do it, but the chances of actually following through are slim. But if you keep a habit tracker, you'll have a visual reminder of your progress and will be able to see how far you've come. One of the best things about habit tracking is that it can be customized to fit your lifestyle and goals. You can track your habits on a sheet of paper, in a notebook, or even on your phone using an app. And you can track whatever habits you want, whether it's exercising, reading, or even taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Habit tracking can also be a fun and rewarding experience. You can give yourself a gold star or a check mark for each day you stick to your habit, and when you reach a certain milestone, you can treat yourself to something special. The sense of accomplishment and progress will motivate you to continue. Another great thing about habit tracking is that it allows you to see patterns in your behavior. You might not realize that you're more likely to stick to your habit on certain days of the week or at certain times of day. By keeping a habit tracker, you can identify these patterns and make adjustments to your routine to increase your chances of success. Habit tracking is a simple and fun way to stay on track with your goals and form better habits. It's an easy and effective way to hold yourself accountable and visualize your progress. So why not give it a try? You'll be surprised at how much it can help you achieve your goals and improve your life. What is your system for habit tracking? It can be something simple like an Excel sheet or a notebook. There are also apps available that can help you track your habits. Decide on your system and note down the 3 small steps you plan to take from Step 1 exercise. Step 3. Reward yourself for small success. Rewarding yourself for small successes is a great way to stay motivated and on track with your goals. It's like having a personal cheer squad cheering you on every step of the way. And the best part is, it can be as simple or as elaborate as you want. Let's say you're trying to form a new habit of going for a walk every day. Every time you go for a walk, you could give yourself a gold star or a check mark on your habit tracker. And when you've reached a certain milestone, like walking for a week straight, you could treat yourself to something special like a new book, a piece of candy, or even a massage. Rewarding yourself doesn't have to be limited to material things. You can also reward yourself with experiences. For example, if your goal is to read more, you could reward yourself with a trip to a bookstore or a library after reaching a certain number of books read. Another way to reward yourself is to set up a reward system that escalates as your progress increases. You could start with small rewards for small successes and gradually increase the size of the rewards as you reach bigger milestones. This will keep you motivated and excited about reaching your next goal. Rewarding yourself for small successes is also a great way to build momentum. When you see how far you've come and how many small successes you've had, it will give you the confidence to keep going and tackle bigger challenges. Rewarding yourself for small successes is a fun and effective way to stay motivated and on track with your goals. It doesn't have to be anything big, but the sense of accomplishment and progress will help you to continue on your journey. So give yourself a pat on the back and treat yourself to something special. You deserve it. What is a small reward that you can give yourself when you complete the 3 small tasks for the day? Step 4. Make your environment work for you. Creating new habits can be a challenge, but one way to make it easier is by making your environment work for you. By setting up your surroundings in a way that supports your goals, you'll be more likely to stick to your habits and reach your desired outcomes. And what could be more fun than doing it in a creative way? One way to make your environment work for you is to create a visual reminder of your habit. For example, if your goal is to drink more water, you could place a big glass water bottle on your desk, so every time you see it, you'll be reminded to drink water. Or you could place post-it notes with motivational messages around your house or office to remind you of your habit. Another way to make your environment work for you is to create an environment that makes it easy for you to perform your habit. For example, if your goal is to exercise more, you could set up a workout area in your house or apartment with all the equipment you need. You could also place your workout clothes and shoes in a visible place, so they're easy to grab when you're ready to exercise. Making your environment work for you can also involve enlisting the help of your friends and family. If your goal is to read more, you could start a book club with your friends, so you can hold each other accountable and discuss your reading progress. Or you could ask a family member to remind you to practice a new language every day. Throughout history, many successful people have used this technique to achieve their goals. For example, Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of the United States, was known for his ability to make his environment work for him. He set up a system of cues and triggers that helped him stay on track with his goals. He would place a book he wanted to read on top of his toilet, so every time he used the restroom, he would be reminded to read a chapter. He also set up a system of rewards for himself, such as a piece of candy, for every task completed. Another example is the famous writer Ernest Hemingway, who would write standing up in order to avoid the temptation of taking a nap. He also would have his writing chair facing a blank wall, so he would not be distracted by the view or anything else. He understood that making his environment work for him was key to his success. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was known for his minimalist approach to his work environment. He would only keep the essentials on his desk and would clear it off every night before leaving. By doing this, he was able to focus on the task at hand and avoid distractions. For the 3 small habits you have set up, make 3 creative changes to your environment. For example, if a habit you want to develop is to learn more, make the website or YouTube account you visit frequently for learning your computer homepage. If you want to start jogging every morning, place your running shoes next to the bed and get into it first thing in the morning. Step 5. Use the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule is a simple yet effective technique for building habits. The idea behind the rule is that you should start small and make it easy to begin a new habit. By breaking down a habit into a 2-minute task, you make it easy to start and maintain. For example, let's say you want to start exercising regularly. Instead of setting a goal to exercise for an hour every day, start by committing to just 2 minutes of exercise. This can be something as simple as doing a couple of push-ups or taking a quick walk around the block. Once you've completed your 2 minutes of exercise, you'll likely find that you want to do more. Another example of using the 2-minute rule is, suppose you want to start the habit of reading. Start by setting a goal to read for just 2 minutes each day. This might seem like a small amount of time, but it can quickly add up. After a few days, you may find that you're reading for longer periods of time. The beauty of the 2-minute rule is that it can be applied to any habit. Whether you want to start meditating, writing, or learning a new language, you can begin by committing to just 2 minutes per day. The 2-minute rule is a simple yet powerful tool for building habits. It's easy to start and maintain, making it a great way to make progress on your goals. As you get better at this, you can increase the time to 5, 10, 20 minutes or even hours, but always remember to start with 2 minutes. For the next week, do the 3 habits you want to create for 2 minutes minimum every day. Step 6. Use habit stacking. Habit stacking is the ultimate game changer for building new habits that stick. Imagine you have a tower of building blocks, each one representing a habit. Each time you successfully complete a habit, you add a block to the tower. As the tower grows taller, so does your sense of accomplishment and momentum. Before you know it, you've built a skyscraper of good habits that are hard to break. But how do you start building that tower? That's where habit stacking comes in. Instead of trying to tackle a new habit head-on, you attach it to an existing habit that you already do regularly. This way, the new habit becomes a natural next step in your routine and is more likely to stick. For example, let's say you want to start flossing your teeth but find it hard to remember. You can stack this habit onto your existing habit of brushing your teeth. After you brush, take a moment to floss. Before you know it, flossing becomes a natural part of your oral care routine. Another example is if you want to start reading more, you can stack this habit onto your bedtime routine. Before you go to bed, spend 15 minutes reading a book or a magazine. By attaching this habit to your bedtime routine, you're more likely to stick with it because it becomes a part of your routine. Habit stacking can be applied to almost any habit, from exercising to learning a new language. The key is to find an existing habit that you already do regularly and attach the new habit to it. Habit stacking is a fun and effective way to build new habits that stick. So start stacking those building blocks and watch your tower of good habits grow taller and taller. Who knows, before you know it, you might even build a habit skyscraper. How can you use habit stacking in your life? Attach the 3 habits you've decided to create to things you already do. Step 7. Reflect and make adjustments. When it comes to building good habits, it's not just about starting them, it's also about reflecting and making adjustments to them. Reflecting on your habits and making adjustments is like fine-tuning a musical instrument. It helps you to hit the right notes and make beautiful music. First, let's talk about reflecting. Reflecting on your habits is like taking a step back and looking at the big picture. It allows you to see what's working and what's not. For example, if you've been trying to eat healthier but find that you're still reaching for that bag of chips at 4 p.m., it's time to reflect on why that might be and make some adjustments. One effective way to reflect on your habits is to keep a habit journal. A habit journal is a place where you can track your progress, set goals, and reflect on your habits. It's a great way to see what's working and what's not, and make adjustments accordingly. Now, let's talk about making adjustments. Once you've reflected on your habits, it's time to make some adjustments. Making adjustments means tweaking your habits to make them more effective. For example, if you've been trying to eat healthier but find that you're still reaching for that bag of chips at 4 p.m., it could be that you're not eating enough protein throughout the day, so you can make adjustments by adding more protein to your meals. Another example is if you're trying to build a morning routine but find that you're having trouble getting out of bed, you can make adjustments by going to bed earlier or setting an alarm in a different spot so you have to get out of bed to turn it off. Reflecting and making adjustments to your habits is an essential part of building good habits that stick. So take a step back, reflect on your habits, and make the necessary adjustments to keep yourself on the path to success. After a week of starting the 3 new habits, ask yourself these questions. What is working? What can be done better? What can I learn from this 1-week experience of trying to form new habits? Don't give up. When it comes to building good habits, one of the most important things to remember is not to give up. It's easy to get discouraged when you slip up or don't see immediate results, but the key is to keep pushing through. History is filled with examples of people who didn't give up and went on to achieve great things. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Edison is famous for inventing the light bulb, but what many people don't know is that he failed thousands of times before he succeeded. When asked about his failures, Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's persistence and refusal to give up eventually led to one of the most important inventions of all time. Another example is Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln is remembered as one of America's greatest presidents, but his path to the White House was anything but easy. He lost 8 elections before finally becoming president. Lincoln's persistence and refusal to give up eventually led to one of the most important presidencies in American history. And let's not forget about J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. She wrote the first Harry Potter book while struggling with poverty and as a single mother. The book was rejected by 12 publishers before finally getting accepted. Her persistence and refusal to give up eventually led to one of the best-selling book series of all time. These examples show us that when it comes to building good habits, it's not about being perfect, it's about not giving up. It's easy to get discouraged, but if you keep pushing through, you'll eventually find success. So when you slip up, don't give up. Learn from your mistakes, make adjustments, and keep pushing forward. You never know, you might just surprise yourself with what you can accomplish.